Welcome to the ASUS booth. So, I know in my preview I said ASUS had a wide variety of products here, but I only showed like one motherboard. No. They have more stuff than that. ASUS is involved in everything from monitors to all-in-one PCs, notebooks, tablets, motherboards, video cards, networking, even cases, I think, although not really in North America. So, let's have a look at what they got here. Number one, they have a G53S. So this is part of their gaming series that is also populated by the G74, which is the 17-inch version. This is the 15-inch version. These are, I've actually done an unboxing of a G53 at one point, so these are super beefy gaming machines with huge cooling vents at the back, and basically the Republic of Gamers edition of what a notebook would be. Next, we've got the ASUS Transformer Pad TF300. So this is kind of a lower cost version of the Transformer Prime. It uses a plastic back instead of the metal back, and personally I actually prefer this. I've talked about the Galaxy Tab 10.1, how I like the plastic back because you don't worry about scratching it or like staining it with your fingerprints. This makes sense to me. Right, the mobile dock that goes with it. So the mobile dock adds not only a keyboard and additional expansion, including, not that, but USB, as well as an SD slot, but it also adds additional battery life. So when you dock, you can have up to 15 hours of battery life between the battery that's in here and the battery that's in here together. It also has a touchpad which you can use to navigate the Android OS that's on it. Finally, the ZenBook. So the ZenBook is one that I actually did a full NCIX Tech Tips episode on, and at that time, the ZenBook had a bit of a quirk where down here, the touchpad was non-responsive. You can see with the latest ZenBook, the mouse cursor is moving. Can you see that the mouse cursor is moving? Even though I'm touching all of the touchpad, it continues to move just fine. So the ZenBook, the one problem that I might have had with it, gone. Let's move around to the other side of the ASUS booth. Here we've got one of their all-in-ones. This is also something that I've done video coverage of in the past. Although I had Windows 8 preview running on it, it looks like they've only got Windows 7. So my video is definitely cooler from last time than this one, but it's a pretty neat little all-in-one machine. It's on my NCIX Tech Tips channel. We've also got a couple of their high-end networking products, including a wireless router here, as well as other more different wireless router here. So this is the RT N66U Dark Knight. This is a phenomenally popular router at NCIX right now. I actually don't know too much about it myself, but I can tell you we're selling a lot of them and they aren't coming back. So that's as strong an endorsement as there can be. On the other side of the ASUS board booth, we have their motherboards. So we have everything from their Republic of Gamers Maximus 5 Gene. So this is basically all of the features that you would find in a full-size ATX gaming machine, except in a micro ATX form factor. So that is SLI and Crossfire compatibility, awesome cooling, all the I/O that you could possibly need, except for that additional 3 expansion slots. We've also got the Sabertooth Z77, which I think I've covered pretty thoroughly already. It looks like some of the dust covers have walked off, but yeah, one of them's still on here. That's where one of the fans goes, that's where the other fan goes. So it's got their thermal armor, which allows you to basically keep all the components cool and free of dust. We've also got ASUS's VG Series 27-inch Light Boost compatible 3D display. As you guys probably know if you watch my show, I pretty much don't believe you should be buying a 3D display unless you get one with Light Boost. It makes an enormous difference in terms of the crosstalk between the images, as well as the headache-inducingness. Personally, I get a headache from 3D Vision 1, no headache 3D Vision 2. Last but not least, we've got a gaming machine over here that apparently Antec got their little paws on this one too, because it's all Antec'd out as well as ASUS'd out. So this is one of their direct CU2 cards. ASUS is actually one of the few vendors that does triple slot graphics cards. Now, while this may not be ideal for users who are running SLI, especially if you want like 3-way SLI or 3-way Crossfire, because they won't all fit in a board, it is ideal if you're running a single card, because it means that you've got that much more metal strapped to your card, keeping it cool. So if you can see from the bottom, you know what, I can't see from the bottom. This guy's actually got 2 cooling fans built in, and the rest of the system is pretty neat too. This is a really neat power supply. There aren't many 80+ platinum power supplies, and not many low wattage ones. So what you'll discover is that most power supplies peak at around 50 to 60% load in terms of their efficiency. That's where they're going to hit their maximum efficiency. And with the highly efficient gaming parts that we have these days, like GTX 680, Radeon HD 7970, as well as the new Ivy Bridge processors, what we need in terms of high-end power supplies is low wattage, extremely efficient power supplies in order to get the most out of them. Kingston also got their grubby paws on this booth with some HyperX memory going on in here, as well as a HyperX SSD. Welcome to the Nvidia booth. Nvidia, I mean, these guys are doing so much amazing stuff these days, not just with GeForce on the desktop, but also with Tegra on the mobile side. So for their booth, they've actually got, you can use these, but personally I prefer the touchscreen interface. They have an ASUS tablet powered by an Nvidia Tegra chip that is outputting to here, which looks really good and looks very impressive and all that stuff. But what is even more impressive is the fact that, hold on, how do I move? There we go. Is the fact that they have this going on the full-sized 1080p TV right in front of me here. So you can play with your tablet, you can play with a remote controller, whatever you want. We are experiencing HD gaming at its finest, in spite of the fact that this device is thinner than a phone, which is pretty cool. So let's keep moving right along in the Nvidia booth here. We've got a couple of other things, including the ASUS Transformer Prime. So I've covered this one in the past already. This is running the Tegra 3 processor, which is a 5-core processor. It has 4 main cores and 1 auxiliary core for power saving. And you can check out my unboxing on my Linus Tech Tips channel if you want any more details on it. Tegra 3 basically turns Android into the experience that I thought it should have been. Tegra 2 is fast, especially for things like gaming, but in terms of the overall snappiness and responsiveness of the platform, Tegra 3 really kicks it up a notch. Remember, Tegra 3 is a quad-core effective versus 2 cores effective for Tegra 2. They've also got a couple pretty neat gaming notebooks here.
670s
and 670s. So these are from MSI and ASUS. This MSI model is actually the one that I'm more familiar with. This uses their custom SteelSeries, designed by SteelSeries backlit keyboard, as well as their Dynaudio audio solution. Both of these are really a couple steps ahead of the competition in terms of what they're doing to make the tactile experience of your notebook, gaming notebook, excellent, as well as the audio experience. Now, these are not for the faint of heart. These are thick notebooks, they're heavy. However, if you want the ultimate gaming experience on the go with a quad-core processor, a high-end Nvidia graphics card, then that's pretty much what you're going to want to go with.
New G75.
And this is the new G75. So this is a brand new design. The G74 saw several revisions of CPUs as well as GPUs go into it before it looks like they have finally redesigned this notebook. I actually haven't seen this one yet. You can see remnants of the original G74 design, like the way the hinges are positioned here. However, looks like they've completely redone the interior design. So they've got a great soft touch feel here. This is actually a bit rougher than most soft touch, which I think is a good thing because it'll keep it from wearing out as quickly as most soft touch finishes do. In terms of I/O, we've also got an upgrade here. We've got Blu-ray, SD, 2 USB 3 super speed ports, and on the other side, we have a wide variety of things actually. We've got more super speed USB, 2 more of those. We've actually got HDMI, Gigabit, Ethernet, as well as, what the heck is that one? Is that Thunderbolt? Looks like it's Thunderbolt. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but I think that's Thunderbolt. Leave a comment under the video if I'm wrong. And coupled together with the Nvidia booth, one of their board partners decided to come to the tech fair as well. Galaxy has got a beastly gaming machine going in here with one of their custom non-reference video cards that it looks like a GTX 670 GC with the dual fan cooling solution. So they've got that running. A 3D Vision demo over here on this table. Or no, they don't have 3D Vision, sorry. They have 3D Vision stuff here, but they've got it running Unigine Heaven, just so you can see how absolutely beastly it is. Also, if you come check out the Galaxy booth, make sure you bug them for one of these. I've got one. These are dead GPUs from RMAs over the years. So these are older GPUs and they put them in plastic and it makes for like a really cool little keychain. Finally, they've got their lineup of graphics cards. Unfortunately, they don't have the GTX 670 or 680 here because they're rarer than hen's teeth. However, as a show deal, we do have the GTX 670 for $369.99. That's a Galaxy reference card, which is pretty cool. However, remember, the GTX 670 and 680 are great for surround gaming, but so is the MDT series from Galaxy. So they've got a 560, a 570, a 580 that are all capable of 3-monitor surround gaming. We actually did an NCIX Tech Tips on that not that long ago on the NCIX.com channel. So thank you for checking out our coverage of all of the booths at the NCIX Tech Fair, and don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips and NCIX Tech Tips.